NASA has unveiled an elaborate plan to tackle moon dust, which could be one of the biggest challenges for astronauts in future missions. One of the biggest dangers for astronauts going to the moon is, believe it or not, dust. But this is not the normal dust that we see on planet Earth. It's called lunar dust, and it's extremely fine, almost like powder. However, what's interesting is that its edges are sharp, like broken glass, so you can imagine the kind of impact it has. It's formed when tiny meteoroids constantly hit the moon's surface and then breaks rocks into small pieces. On planet Earth, there's wind, water and air which slowly smooths out dust particles. But the moon, it has no surface, so the dust particles stay sharp and rough. Lunar dust also sticks to everything. Because the moon has a very thin atmosphere, its surface is exposed to strong sunlight, to radiation. That radiation gives the dust, besides the sharp edges, also an electric charge. So because of that, this moon dust can actually float above the moon's surface. Since the moon's gravity is very low, the dust stays in the air for a very long time. So astronauts have constantly struggled with this. During the Apollo missions, lunar dust became one of the biggest problems. So far, remember, only 12 astronauts have walked the moon. They used large brushes to clean the dust from their spacesuits. Brushing, however, wasn't enough because, like I told you, it has radiation, it's sharp as well. Now, imagine this. In the Apollo 17 mission in 1972, astronaut and geologist Harrison Schmitt was exposed to lunar dust after his third moonwalk. When he removed his helmet inside the lunar module, fine dust particles floated around. It entered his eyes, nose and throat. And so as a result, he experienced red and watery eyes, sneezing, swollen sinuses and an itchy throat. And that condition became known as lunar hay fever. The worst symptoms lasted about 2 hours. Lunar dust also damaged spacesuits, it damaged machines, it scratched surfaces and caused parts to wear out quickly. So because of that, it's a priority for NASA to deal with. Scientists have been searching for better solutions. You had several, in fact, researchers, including a Washington University researcher named Unveils and his team, coming up with a new idea using liquid nitrogen. They tested it in a rather creative way on a Barbie doll. They made a tiny spacesuit for a Barbie doll, covered it with volcanic dust, which is similar to lunar dust, and then sprayed liquid nitrogen on it. The liquid nitrogen formed small droplets and removed 98% of the dust from the suit. Using this idea, private company Axiom Space helped design new spacesuits that are better at dealing with lunar dust. But let's also highlight here that while we've been talking about the challenges of dealing with lunar dust, it can also be very useful. When heated to the right temperature, lunar dust can be turned into bricks. And these bricks can be used to actually build shelters on the moon, infrastructure on the moon. Lunar dust can also be used to produce oxygen, again very important for future moon missions. So the idea is to not completely eliminate moon dust, but figure out a way to address it. NASA is working on several ways, therefore, to control lunar dust. One important technology is called the electrodynamic dust shield. It uses thin, transparent electric layers built into surfaces like solar panels, helmet visors and spacesuits. Tests using real Apollo 17 dust showed that this electrodynamic system could remove 98% of dust in seconds using gentle electric waves. Unlike brushes which were used many years ago, this system does not wear out. A test version of the system was used in a mission in March 2025. And it successfully cleaned dust from equipment after landing. Now, importantly, the upcoming Artemis 2 mission will send 2 astronauts to the moon after 50 long years. A major goal of this mission is to study and reduce the dangers caused by lunar dust. NASA also plans to build a nuclear reactor on the moon by 2030 to support long-term human missions. Every solution that we find now brings us one step closer to living on another world. So dust may slow us down, but it definitely will not stop human exploration.